everyone, this is Alex Marcheschi from Marine Log. We're here with another video from Workboat 2025. We're in the Regal Rexnord booth, and I have Tony George. He's the Global Product Manager for the company with me today. Tony, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Alex.
Of course. So we're going to learn a little bit about the company, see what they're offering at the show this year, and we'll dive into it right away. So our goal here is to discuss their technical expertise, get some product information, understand their customer-centric approach, and see what their strategic vision is for the future. So Tony, first question here. Can you give me an overview of your marine powertrain solutions and how do they address some of the unique challenges that come about in this industry?
Yeah, for sure, Alex. I mean, you'll see on the booth today, we're split broadly between two different camps. There's a significant couplings product line here, which Bob will talk to you about later, and I sit on the clutch and brake side of things. So we have in our portfolio really all the major mechanical power transmission components that go into a marine environment, whether that's below deck, which for us means, say, propulsion and power gen,
Yes.
and above deck, which would include things like hoists and winches and so on. So
Okay.
we've got quite a comprehensive portfolio on display, and it means that we have brakes on shaft lines, brakes on winches. We have turning devices for shaft maintenance in port. We have shaft locking devices which ensure a kind of safe working environment for anyone working on the propulsion line.
Yes.
And then on top of that, yes, behind you and elsewhere, really that same complement as it applies to hoisting, winching, towing, and the safety devices that apply there.
All right, perfect. Thanks for that
Sure.
perfect explanation there. So the next question is, could you give me an overview of the powertrain solutions? I know that's a broad question,
Sure.
but how do those help out the industry address the challenges that may arise?
Yeah, I mean, for one thing, above deck especially, you have extremely harsh environment for any equipment. So
Yeah.
naturally, things like marinization of our product line, protecting it against the environment. You can imagine that a lot of our braking solutions, that is all about control of heat. So we're looking at materials and brake and clutch designs that are capable of dissipating high heat loads.
Okay.
If you move into the let's say the dredging space,
Yes.
we deal with some very high energy heat inputs or very high torque requirements for things like trailing suction hopper dredgers,
Okay.
for cutter section dredgers, where maybe the clutch is used as a mechanical fuse to protect the pump, for example. So yeah, it's a very challenging environment. It's a very challenging application
Yes.
requirements, and yeah, we're an engineering-led company, so we bring that expertise to those almost engineered to order or highly engineered solutions.
All right, makes a lot of sense. Thanks for that answer. So what sets Regal Rexnord apart as a leader in the marine powertrain technology space?
Good question. I think really our biggest strength probably is the sheer breadth of the portfolio. I think overall we have something like 50 plus brands, 200 something manufacturing locations. And for us working at marine space, it means we can pull on the expertise from all of those brands, some of which are over 100 years old, the expertise from those brands, from a really unmatched, unparalleled product portfolio.
Yeah.
It really means we're in a position to tailor not just a component or one product, but a packaged solution. So we can be that single source if that's what a customer would like.
Yeah.
And like I said, we don't just want to sell a product, we want to sell a solution, a package, and also we want to bring those decades of experience to the customer so they have absolute confidence in what they're buying.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So moving on here, could you detail the evolution of Regal Rexnord's marine offerings and how the company's story kind of reflects the commitment to the industry? Because I know that's a big calling card for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, marine for almost all of the brands has been a sector of significance. If it's a reflection of how important we treat the industry, we have initiatives within the brands and at a corporate level to grow our presence, to develop innovative and reliable solutions specifically for the marine space.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, it's a critical industry, and our brands have a lot of history in that market.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is a little more of a specific question, and it calls upon your specific expertise.
Sure.
So, what are your key products to support, the full marine story in terms of what you deal with on a daily basis?
Wow. I mean, I'd like to say they're all key, Alex. Obviously, there are some packaged solutions, for example, from the Twiflex brand, which makes something we call TLB. And that is an integrated shaft turning, locking, and braking system.
Okay.
And the big advantage, as far as the owner-operator is concerned, is it's an integrated solution. So you're not trying to patch disparate systems and make it work together. You have a single interface, a drop-in solution. We provide the lockouts, the interlocks. We provide a control panel. We provide the hydraulics. So I'm not going to say it's plug and play because nothing is ever that simple.
Yeah.
But TLB into commercial marine and into the defense space is one of our great innovations and absolutely a growth area for us. So TLB is one. If we think about the direction that marine propulsion is going, for example, with hybridization, we from the Stromag brand, we have something we call a two-in-one. The two-in-one is a combination of a torsionally resilient coupling and a clutch. And so, as you see the development of hybrid drives and the ability to switch alternative propulsion in and out, that two-in-one solution, absolutely, it's a real growth opportunity, but a really important solution for that application.
Perfect, thank you. So, how does Regal Rexnord integrate advanced engineering and technology into its marine powertrain products? It's a broad question, but if you could just, give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fundamentally we make mechanical power transmission components. So it's never a high-tech, in the truest sense of the word, product. But what we explore and what we do offer are, refinements to products, to the designs. We're not selling from a catalog. We're selling we're an engineering-led business. We're selling engineered solutions. So, we're looking at friction materials that can handle high heat loads. We're looking at structural components using different strength materials to bring the mass and the space claim from our products down. Everyone wants to consume as little space in the engine room to minimize the mass to help balance the vessel. So in that respect, that's our kind of direction of travel for engineering.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Tony. So last question here. What trends do you see shaping the future of marine powertrain technology, and how is Regal Rexnord, working to make these things come to fruition?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's one very obvious answer, Alex. We're all driven to decarbonization. And what that means for marine propulsion specifically is alternate fuels. Which, being frank, doesn't really move the needle very much in terms of mechanical power transmission components. The counter to that is hybridization and full electrification. And that's where we see, major changes occurring in different parts of the world at different paces. We have to be cognizant of that. We have to think about our product mix and how we develop new products that are going to address those upcoming needs of, hybrid or fully electric vessels going forward.
Great.
So yes, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of movement already. We're already supplying product into that hybrid space. We've done some work on hybrid diesel electric tugs, for example. And I only see that accelerating.
All right, well, perfect. Tony, thank you so much for the information.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank
Great
you,
insight. And at Marine Log, we always appreciate hearing from the experts like this. Once again, tune into our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, Alex, so we talked about the importance of the TLB development to the supply into the marine space. So what we have here is a mock-up of a TLB system. So that is continuous, bidirectional, low-speed turning. It's a mechanical shaft lock, so that when you've brought the propulsion line to a complete standstill, if you need to carry out any major maintenance intervention, you have a mechanical lock that is fully monitored, so the shaft cannot be started, cannot rotate. If you have a diver in the water, you have someone working on the prop, someone working on the gearbox or the rest of the shaft line. And then also here, we like to offer balanced braking. So that's two dynamic brakes 180 degrees apart. And the big advantage there is it doesn't induce any major torque reaction in the shaft. And then the fundamental piece, what we have is a two-piece disc. So this is radially split so that it can be fitted to either a new build or even retrofitted to an existing vessel. And all of this together, this makes up our TLB solution.